I have a different headset on. Whenever you get in here. Because usually it takes forever to get these out. So, hi YouTube. How you doing? Hope you're all happy today. All that energy swirling around, that has not been the most fun. Many of us have been dealing with attacks. So we're just going to clear the airwaves now. Yeah. With all of my little developments that I've made. And we're going to get right on into this. I am going to come on and do a teaching then. I'm going to get on and do a teaching at one point about your son's son, how we can help energetically. Hey, how are you doing, Summer? Good to see you. How we can help energetically when it comes to like natural disasters and stuff like that. Sort of like team up, pair up with, I got a download about it. So take it to your higher self, see if it resonates. But like, can you hear me good? I actually do have a mic on, so just making sure you can hear me. I got a download about this last week and I wrote it down. So I'll be able to teach on this. It's basically about like when natural disasters, like when we first see like a hurricane or we know there's going to be a tornado outbreak, how we can minimize the damage to help humanity in that way. Behind the scenes. Many of us do our stuff behind the scenes. People don't even realize it. And it's super cool. What I was revealed. So at one point I'm going to be doing teaching about that, of how we can neutralize CERN and those attacks that we've been getting as far as like, oh good, I'm glad. You know, like these hurricanes and stuff like that, some of them are just crazy. And I feel personally that God gave me that to give to the collective so that we can work as a team and neutralize storms to lessen the impact. Storms, volcanic eruptions, wildfires, put them out, like minimize the damage. Basically, yeah, I get it. People are like, oh, well, God's in control of, hi, Terry. God's in control of the weather. However, we all know that the weather has been kind of manipulated by dark forces. So people don't get this in their head, especially if, you know, they have like a religious bent or a religious background. They think, well, you know, God allowed it. That's not what scriptures say. Satan is the ruler of this earth plane. He controls the weather too. So, like, yeah, he's here. And especially in the end times, like in these crazy days that we're living in, we have the power as light workers and to help lessen the impact of this stuff. I haven't heard anybody else talk about being able to neutralize storms, or yeah, some people say about manipulating weather. Dude, many of you know that there's a lot of times where I'll do a reading and immediately after the reading, I'll get a crazy storm blow in. And then, you know, like everything from rainbows that appear right outside my house, right outside my window. That's happened multiple times after I gave a reading. I don't usually watch the weather, but I'm on one weather app that is a YouTube channel. I don't watch mainstream anything anymore. It's not healthy. They gaslight all the time. They don't tell you the truth. Yeah, we all know this. So yeah, I'm going to be doing a teaching on that. I ran it by my one Aquarius friend, and she's like, that all makes sense. I'm talking from hurricanes to tornadoes to earthquakes, volcanoes, tornadoes, all of that. I feel that we can neutralize that kind of stuff as light workers. One who is a sun sign of like air, and one that's a sun sign of where two or three are gathered, God moves on that behalf. God will move on your behalf when you come in unison and, declare, God to move in that area. Especially when you're a fire sign, you have that passion, you understand fire. Hi, Archers or Oracle. Here's the one thing that I was like, well, what about fire and water, God? I asked about that. That's the neutralizer. A fire sign and a water sign creates steam. So, say to put out wildfires and stuff like that, you would need a water sign, sun sign, and the moon, the opposite, that also controls that, which would be like fire. What you would need is a water sign and a fire sign to neutralize that energy of a wildfire. Water puts that out. So we can pray in a storm, like a dousing storm to put out wildfires. If that makes any sense. I have everything written down. I'm going to do a full teaching on this. So that way we can help humanity in that way. No, like I said, I haven't heard anybody else get something like this, but this is something that the good Lord gave me as a download. See, so you're getting the same downloads that I'm getting. And the thing is we kind of need to do this in teams. And the more the merrier. If you're interested in learning about this, leave a comment. You can email me at beautifulmind4275@gmail.com. Please do. If you want more information, and we can actually do a Skype or something like that where we all get together and we can make up the team of who's in, say there's a hurricane that we see, we're going to need a water sign and an air sign to neutralize that. Okay? So, like, if that makes any sense, water is the main issue when it comes to hurricanes, and then there's the air that actually creates it. So when we have those two come together and speak the opposite of what's happening and pray that, we put our intent into neutralizing that storm, we have the power to do that. It's biblical. We have the power to defy gravity too. Jesus walked on water, for Pete's sakes. Come on. So, how's everything going on over in Arizona? How's my Pisces doing? See, my Pisces would understand. My Geminis would too. It's good to see that Summer was on here earlier. I don't know if you're still on here, kiddo, but yeah, we had a major tornado outbreak last week, and I was getting all these downloads about this stuff during that time. The energy was just so crazy. Yeah, flooding. Well, that is earth and water. An earth sign and a water sign have to come together to neutralize that. So, well, I wrote it in my one book. I'll tell you. See, I did. I wrote it all down. For natural disasters. We need an earth, sun, and a water moon. a water sun, and an earth moon. Air sun, fire sun, air. Like, you can figure out, like, what is a fire sun and an air moon? Air sign moon. I mean, you could use sun signs here too, in the opposite, if you'd like. But God told me where 2 or 3 are gathered, he's there. So when these things are occurring, gotta connect with our person and our partner and begin to declare this stuff. To neutralize these shitty weather patterns that have been overtaken by, you know, demonic energy and manipulated by dark energy. So I'm in this to win this, guys. Like I said, the name of my stream, you know, love and light mixed with piss and vinegar. That's your girl here. I could be either one depending on how you treat me. There's a mutual respect. You know, I'm going to treat you with the utmost respect until you disrespect me, and then I'm going to fucking come for your throat. That's just the way it goes at any given time anymore. I will respect you. I will love you until you come for my throat. Dude, I got a lot of piss and vinegar in me, Terry. I really do. You know, I've had the worst time with people. My whole life. I've been attacked my whole life by people who just don't understand me. They don't get it. They think I'm some crazy witch into witchcraft, and I love God. You know, I don't technically do spells. I pray. Call it what you want. I pray and I ask God to move on my behalf. I pray. When I speak, shit happens. Most people know this. Most people know not to, like, really make me mad. You know, and I don't want to hurt anybody, but I'll call these people out. I will. I'm not afraid to hurt someone's feelings. I don't want to have to, but I will if I'm pushed to. I'm going to defend myself from now on. Same with the rest of you. We have to defend our freaking God-given gifts and our right to be free to our own beliefs and, you know, do our mission and complete our mission on this earth. Humanity is hungry for the real thing. They're hungry for the real deal. And you have to have a little bit of piss and vinegar in your veins to get your point across. Exactly. Jesus had some piss and vinegar in his veins, flipping those tables. Yeah. He got mad at those Pharisees. Same with me. I don't like them either. You know, and the sad part is I seem to always run into them. The church has been attacking me for as long as I can remember. But hey, kudos to them. I'm all going to hell in a handbasket, but because they ain't doing shit. They do a lot of this and a lot of this and pointing a finger, but they don't lift their fingers to help a certain person. I was like, they're still in this 3D matrix. They think that they can go to a building, call that church, and not have a changed, renewed life. Don't work like that. I got my piss and vinegar in my veins, honestly. This isn't bitterness. This is me being an Aries, stellium. Come fuck with me once. I'm the nicest person until you betray me, and then it's over. And that's the sad part. They let the narc take over. You know? And it's really sad when I see stuff like, you know, I have mentors and people who I've you know, my channel's been stuck for a good 3 years. You know, since like 2019, my subscribers have pretty much stayed the same. It's at like, what, 3,880. Every once in a while, I'll gain like 12 or 13 subscribers. I'll get up close. to 2,900, but it has not gone over that in 2 years. You know, and for another way you can tell your shadow banned on here is when you don't have a live feed. Your live streams don't automatically upload. You can't even see the chat for like a day or two until they completely go through your content and decide whether or not they want to allow it to be monetized. And now we don't even have control over if we want our stuff demonetized. Say we don't want our stuff monetized. Like, you could put that you don't want it monetized, but behind your back, they'll actually be playing ads on your shit. And I haven't gotten a dime since 2019 from YouTube, from Google. Because they don't push my videos, they shove them all the way down in the algorithm. So congratulations to all you who still actually get my notifications and who still can come on here and stuff. They've tried to decimate me. It's the Archer's Oracle knows. The real ones, the actual real people on here, they've tried to really decimate, especially if you come against them. You know, like I said, I've had some of the worst. You know, it's bad enough, like, you know, I'm in a community that I never thought, you know, God would ever put me in. I never thought that God would have me doing what I do and teaching me the things that I've been taught. And ancient knowledge, and realizing how many books were taken out of the Bible that talk about spiritual warfare and what we're actually fighting. Most people don't get it. We really aren't fighting against people. We're fighting against people who have demonic energy that haven't refined their soul. Some of them, yes, are narcissists. Some of them are just demonically possessed. So, I mean, yeah, usually if they are a narc, they you know, they could have narcissistic traits, but not be a narcissist. We have to be able to discern between the two, if that makes sense. So they could be oppressed, but they're not full. There's a difference. There's levels to possession as well. Like, people just think that, you know, it's like depression, suppression, oppression to full-blown demonic possession. And it's a real thing. And there's levels to it. When you're feeling depressed, a lot of times it's a mental thing. But for empaths and spiritually gifted people, we feel that energy and we're like, ooh. Like, that's why, like, we are more prone to want to be at home. We don't want to be out around people because we feel all their shit. And then we internalize it and we think that it's us, and it's not. It's their shit. And then we have to transmute, and we're in bed for 2 days, and we have to take 25 fucking spiritual baths just to feel better. So that's why I'm ever since I started taking my spiritual baths and making my own jewelry and doing all the stuff that I do personally, making my holy oil, the whole nine. Ever since I've started that, my life has been so much better. The protection on my life. I don't have all of the same issues, unless there's obviously the cosmos don't help some things, but because we feel all the cosmic energy too. It's not even just energy from other people. We're feeling energy coming solar. We feel the moon energy. We feel energy coming from Saturn, Pluto. We feel it all. And we have to figure out where this is coming from. It's when you go through, though, and hey, you have a bunch of my holy oil. I'm telling you, people's lives have shifted. Some of it is definitely the energy, and some of it is the products that I make that people have been able to get. I'm not trying to sell shit right now. I'm actually not. So we'll get off of that. But you contact me or whatever if you are in need of anything. You know, I also have been discerning like psychic attacks from people and where they're coming from. Look, if you're getting psychically attacked from local people, say people that you know are into certain things, okay? Someone didn't understand what I was saying look, when I took the mirror out of my window, because I was cleaning, I did spring cleaning, just my little mirrors, and I face them in certain directions of people who I know are throwing shade my way, okay? In the direction of their house. I noticed when I cleaned the mirrors, I was like, well, I think we're good. I noticed when I removed the window or removed the mirrors that I started getting psychically attacked really bad again. And then it dawned on me yesterday to put the mirrors back up. So that's what I did. Now, I dare a motherfucker to throw some shit at me. Locally, at least. You could throw shit at me through whatever here. I just spray my phone and clear my energy. But when it's local, people trying to put you in jars and stop sacrificing and doing blood sacrifices just so you can fuck with light workers. That's bullshit. Come on. Who do you serve? I know who you serve when you do that kind of stuff. It's not the God I serve. All I got to do, because I am a chosen one, all I got to do is be like, look, God, look what's happening. What are you going to do about this? I'm your kid. What are you going to do? Well, God told me to put the mirrors back up. As a sign and a symbol that it's reflecting back. It's whatever they try and throw my way, they're going to get it back. Doubled reflector. So I have the mirrors back in the windows. I mean, it's been nice. I haven't been psychically attacked in my sleep anymore. That don't happen. I don't get attacked in my dreams anymore. I wonder why that is. Maybe it's because I cleared out all of that old karmic shit. Now we're creating new karma. We've been getting rid of a lot of that old stuff. I've been clearing those past. I know my line is clear now. Because I'm not dealing with the nightmares of past life stuff. I mean, I'm not saying something might not pop up at one point, but it's not like it was. And a lot of it probably had to do with, being opened up to dealing with narcs. Well, I was too, but she didn't know it. That was the real messed up part. My mama, I'm telling you. She's a Virgo yet to boot. Like, what she says goes. That's why I've been trying to teach her to, look, please, life and death are in the power of your tongue. So, especially when it's family members that you love and care about, if you're getting a weird energy, speak healing instead of death. If you know that something's going on in someone's body, instead of saying, well, it runs in the family, you'll probably instead of saying that, how about, no, it breaks with me. That's not going to fall on you. I speak healing over that. That's the difference. I get that's hard for Virgos because they see things as they are. But when Virgos are so powerful, that, you know, they see things as they are, but then they just complain and they nitpick instead of speaking life. No shade on Virgos. You guys are awesome. I'm just trying to get this concept across to you all that you have the power to change the outcome over your own life and of others. And we are in Virgo season right now. So happy birthday to all you Virgos. I love you. Mwah. My mommy's a Virgo. I'm a progressed Virgo moon. So my moon's about to go. And I'm a progressed Scorpio rising. I didn't realize this until I actually did my progressed chart. It's like the 27-degree progressed, 14-degree moon in Virgo, something like that. I know you do, Archer's Oracle. You're like me. My technical snapshot when I was born was an Aries sun, second decan. I'm a Libra rising, which is the exact opposite, because I have Jupiter in Aries as well. So one of the things, and then I have Chiron there. That's what makes up my stellium, and I have Mercury and Lilith in Pisces. So there's a lot of energies going on right there. And I have Pluto in Libra in my 12th house, opposite of my Jupiter in Aries. So that's a lot of scorpionic energy right there. It is. I'm always getting shade from Pluto. It's a Pluto square. Yeah, I was when I was talking to me and Mike were talking last night, and I'm like, dude, I have never had so many suicidal thoughts of just not wanting to be on this planet. Like, not that I would ever do that, ever. Dude, I tried. They can't kill me. I know this. They've tried. They've tried to push me to that point. I died 3 times on the table of an intentional overdose. I wanted off this planet. They can't kill me. They can't kill me. And then, like I said, I'm a cat moon. So, I know I'm supposed to be here, and I don't want to. I mean, I'm really hoping that things get better in the 3D, but I can't stay down there no more. It's too yucky. It is. It's too yucky. The energy is gross. It's too yucky. And look, y'all know I've had a lot of people come for me on here thinking that I'm not going to say anything. And it's mostly just been trolls. But I've had fuddy-duddy church people come after me because they see I'm a powerful person that they don't have. A Christian isn't supposed to cuss. People shouldn't say they're God's child, even though God says we're his kids. People shouldn't say Jesus is my brother because of what he did. They don't read the Bible for themselves to know who they are, which is the whole problem with the mainstream church. I was saying it to somebody the other day. They go to church to get their weekly feel good, to get their weekly bread, when you're supposed to be getting your daily bread. It's called, to give us this day our daily bread. We're supposed to be doing this daily and praying to our Father. Okay. If I wasn't God's kid, why would Jesus teach us to pray, our Father? Doesn't that require, if he's our Father, that we are his kid? Let's just break that down. So when people get mad to say, I'm God's kid, you're an idiot. If you claim that you're a Christian and you don't know that you're God's child, you're not a Christian. You're not a real follower of God if you don't know that you're God's kid. When the disciples asked Jesus, how do we pray? He said, you're supposed to pray like this. Our Father, who art in heaven, holy is your name. Your kingdom come, your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. We have to ask God, we have to repent and ask God to forgive us before we can expect other people to be able to forgive other people. Lead us not into temptation. And how many of us are led into temptation? I'm like, oh, dear Lord. The temptation. But deliver us from evil. We can ask God to deliver us from the evil and the temptation. We have to overcome it, though. That's, lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. We can pray that spiritual hedge of protection right over top of us. For God, it's the God for thine. For God is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever and ever and ever. Amen. Like, I think one of these days we're just going to do crazy spiritual terms, like breaking things down like that. You know, just because it's who we are as lovers of God and followers of the divine creator God. I follow the one true God, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That is my daddy. I am his child, and people don't like when I say that. Why? Why does it hurt people's feelings when I say we're to be like Jesus and we're supposed to look like Jesus? And we're supposed to have a holy, righteous anger at evil. We're allowed to get mad at evil. We're supposed to get mad at atrocities that are happening. As women, we're supposed to be virtuous. You know? And that comes with an abandoned love for God first. God's the one who raises us up to be pure and virtuous with integrity. But God showed me, especially over this summer, look, guys, God showed me over this summer what was most important and the order of that. Your interpersonal relationships with people in your life are important, but your relationship with God comes first and they come second. I mean, right now it's just like me and God are just, I tell people God's my husband. That is my husband. Unless God brings some for man that's exactly like me into my life, that he's my husband. And until I'm done on this planet, my mission, you can't kill me. You can try and psychically attack me. You can try and hurt my kids. I've already had a serious talk with my kids today, and I'm going to have a serious talk with my parents because this shit is intense. I had to tell my daughter and her friend, look, I can only do so much. I can only cover you so much when you're here. But you need to start doing the stuff for yourself. Because I believe like a lot of the stuff that she's going through is psychic attack and projections to hurt me from other people. Okay? So I taught her. I said, look, dude, this is what you need to do. You need to, every night, because we live in a very spiritually active area. If you go back to my one live stream, I showed you all the water and the river that I live near. So it's a big channel body of water over there. It's crazy. And there's like a lot of energy that dumps into both, and it all meets right here in my town. So with her being an Aquarius and a double Gemini, I told her, I'm like, look, your words weigh heavy. Your thoughts create. And then your words are just explosive. So when you get upset because of what you see and what you're feeling, you need to sit back, because a lot of times that'll trigger one of her episodes. But it's psychic attack is exactly what it is. So I'm training her. I said, you're going to be so far advanced from me at my age, you're going to make me look pathetic. I want to train my kid up that strong. There ain't nobody going to be able to mess with her. She's already psychic. Her and my Capricorn sun have been having, before I even realized it, but then one night it just clicked and we all started doing it. Like telepathy. We can just look at each other and start laughing because we know what each other is thinking. Those two have been doing it since they were little kids. And then when I caught him the one time, I'm like, I know you're thinking this and you're thinking this, and I don't find it very funny. And they both just looked at each other and they're like, I'm like, yeah. So do you want to know what me and my sister used to do? This is the honest God about my childhood. Me and my sister, so that her and I could freaking communicate and my parents wouldn't know what we were saying, we learned sign language. Yes, we did. We learned sign language. So her and I would communicate. My parents would get so mad because they had no clue what we were saying. Yeah, I know. You have a lot of them in the spiritual community. When it comes to, I have love for what people would call pagans, because we're to love our enemies too. So, hey, I do it. Like if someone doesn't believe the same way I do, I'm not going to judge them. That's for God to do. I'm just supposed to be who I'm called to be and be an example of God's, a representative, a facet, a little fractal of who he is on this planet. And if I can influence somebody in an authentic, real, loving, caring way, that's what I want to do. That's because that's what God would want me to do. But if someone's going to come at me, after I've been kind and bent over backwards for people, and then they're going to turn around and attack me and my family, especially with dark magic and witchcraft, that ain't going to fly. And God tells me, he shows me, I intuitively know where it's coming from. And they know that I know, because I'm sure that they watch my channel and sit there and think it's funny. Well, they're not going to find it very funny when everything that they've done to everybody else. Because one chick, yeah, that's definitely, I get that. It's like cuts off your freaking throat shock. I understand. Just ask God to protect you in that, and maybe that's a sign to get away, and just pray for it to lift. God threw me right in the middle of this crazy spiritual community and said, now be my hands and feet and show people who the real God is. these people want to be worshiping all these statues and all these demigods, and you show them who the real creator is. I'm going to give you the words, I'm going to give you the tools, I'm going to give you the language so that you can go and into those dark. When I was told in 2005 God was going to send me into the community that he did, I was like Sarah, and I laughed at him. I'm like, yeah, right, because there really wasn't any YouTube or anything like that. I barely, I still had dial up, for Pete's sake. I'm like, the occult. Yeah, I'm sending you into the darkest of the dark so that you can bring the light of who I am and flip those tables so that they know who the real prophets of God are. It isn't someone who just took a tarot class. It's somebody who has discernment and all that other stuff. However, you're to love everybody you come in contact with, and it doesn't matter. And then other things started happening. I would get on and do prayer things and people start get healed. When I would pray over people, there were times where I had to do legit deliverances on people during readings. People think this shit's a joke. It's not. People think that, you know, demons don't envelop people, that they're outside of you. No, they're a lot of times they're on the inside. They're attached to people. A lot of them can release easy if they're just attached to your energetic field because it goes in levels. We get attacked in levels. So, yeah. It just so happens that I'm the right one to piss with. I'll bring the tower down on people. I have Pluto opposite Jupiter. Just so happens this witch probably does too. So it's a real showdown between Elisha and frickin' Jezebel. I'm dealing with an actual real showdown with a Jezebel and her fake prophets, and then there's Blue Flame Elisha over here. Okay? She has all her shit in jars. She puts people's energy in jars. I said it last night, put my energy in a jar one more time, bitch. Don't get mad when your whole damn freezer blows up. You'll know it was me. It's the truth. She tries that shit one more time with me or anybody in my family, and I will make sure I energetically blow her house to smithereens. Not like I'm talking some straight here on my perch when I pray and I send that Pluto energy back. Don't get mad. That's your own fault. Well, now I have the mirrors up. She's screwed. Whatever her and her little Virgo whore was doing, because I will say that, 2 weeks ago, I felt it. I knew what they were doing. I felt it. Talking shit about me after all the shit I've done for both of those little bitches. No. Then God started really showing me things. And then like I said, then other people confirmed. I know for a fact this bitch is a dark witch. I've saw the jars and I didn't know what they were back in 2015. I was like, what the hell is that jar? Like with a candle burned over the top. She had them all over. She had them all in shelves and some in her freezer that she just did and some on top of her refrigerator. And I got frisky one time and my kid and her kid were friends. Well, I saw it. I saw them when her and I were still okay. Okay? I saw these things sitting at her house. I didn't know what they were. I just thought they were like a craft or something. Made with candle wax, you know? And I just saw them and just left it alone, like whatever. I didn't know what it was. I just thought that it was, she had like 25 of them. I'm thinking, it's a little odd. She had them all over in her freezer and on top of her refrigerator and a couple on shelves. She had people shelved. It's like, is this what you do to people that you think that this is okay? Because I have a good mind to astral project over there and just smash them all over the place and release everybody. As I get dizzy, yeah, let's do that. Put me, my kids, in a jar again, bitch. You'll regret it. Like I said, I'll fucking, all that energy that you fucking murdered people with, started fires with. Yeah, it'll all come out. Stolen from people, bound people. You met the right one. That bitch has no integrity. She stole thousands of dollars from people. Saturn don't like it when you don't have integrity. And she also has a cat moon. She didn't do no soul reflection. She's just been doing spells. That's the difference between those who are actual light workers and those who are just into spirituality and doing, you know, dark magic shit. There's a big difference. My stuff is legit. I go to the Word of God. And I ask him, so how should we handle this? Neutralize. Oh yeah, that was another thing that I was getting to, guys. You know, what's going on in the world is going on in the world. We know this. But I think energetically as light workers that we can actually neutralize nuclear bombs. I mean, if these ET alien crafts are going over, which they're going over nuclear sites and those nuclear bombs, why can't we do that energetically? I think that that's one of the things we're gifted into doing. If you can remote view, which I do, if you have visions and all that kind of stuff, we can envision nuclear bombs not being them all being duds in every single country. That's what they do. Jam up everybody's firearms over there in Afghanistan. Just not let them work. Everything's a dud. That way the good people can begin to have a freaking chance. People don't deserve to get hurt. And my whole thing, I don't want to have to come after anybody. I don't want to have to hurt people. I want to help people. And like I said, the worst part about it is, if I ain't having black magic witches coming at me, I'm having people in the church coming at me. And they think that they're going to stop me. And you're not. Let's get this. You're not going to stop me. Nope. I'm assembling a team. And we're coming after you energetically. There's a lot of us. Okay? There's a lot of us that don't like to see people hurt and abused and traumatized. When we've worked on our own trauma and all that other stuff, we're coming out better than what we went into this thing. I'm not saying I'm perfect or anything. Still got a lot to learn. I'm never going to know everything, but I'm here to at least start the stuff, get it off the ground, and then whatever. And that's like why I said, like when I talked to Mike last night, I'm like, I think I'm supposed to go, I'm going a different direction, man. I think I'm supposed to go with this thing alone. He says my Mars and Aries feels your Aries. Like he gets it. He understands. And like I understand why I couldn't help. I had to put it in proper order, because if your life isn't in proper order, your money's going to fall apart. You know, your relationships are going to fall apart. If you're not built on a firm foundation, you have to have those things in order first. You have to get your thing with God first, solid, and then you build on top of that. And then it's your family and your immediate people. And you got to train them and teach them, which I'm working with my daughter a lot. I'm like, look, kid, we are in a spiritual battle. It is harsh. You need to be able to defend yourself spiritually. I'm not always going to be here to be able to do this. When you're outside of this house, you got to be able to take this with you. Sure, I can always pray for you, but we have to be able to fight for ourselves. And then when we come together and fight together, it just, what does it say? One person can put 1,000 demons at flight, and 2 people can put 10,000 demons at flight. Imagine a whole armada of us. Hello. As I see someone just clicked off. Bye. It's scriptural. There's so much power in prayer, and when you come together and unify. God, where 2 or 3 are gathered, God is there. He promises that. That's why I said, you know, we have to do this thing in teams when it comes to working with these natural disasters. It's where it's one of the things God is moving me into too. So, do teaching on it, maybe work with some people, and then I'm probably going to hand the project off and say, take it, go with it. This is your thing. Element benders. I've been calling out the element benders for a while. We have the power to bend the elements. We have the power to call in storms. We have the power to shut them up. We speak peace over that. Does that make sense? How many times, Jesus walked on water, man? Turned water into wine. He was sleeping in a boat in the middle of a psychic storm. Actual 3D storm. And Jesus was annoyed. He's like, didn't you guys learn anything? And he had to come up out of his sleep, he was sleeping at the bottom of the boat. Probably getting wet. He didn't care. He was sleeping. And he spoke peace into the atmosphere, and it shut up. The storm stopped. We have the right and the ability to do that in our environment everywhere we go. We leave little God fragments everywhere we go. Well, we have to get somebody from that state to be able to do that. Like, this is huge. I mean, the least amount of casualties is possible. I want to see Mother Earth thrive. I want to see the Earth thrive. So that's just one little thing I'm getting. I get other downloads of other stuff too. I'm starting new channels. They'll be popping up here by Libra season. So be looking out for that. I'm going to keep this as my streaming channel and stuff like that. Ranting channel. Probably some for low level teach. It's so shadow banned. Like the stuff doesn't even get out. But like I'll be doing announcements, stuff like that on here, and probably rants and just bitching, my normal. Maybe pull some cards here and there. Still, but I'm having one channel specifically for my cards and another channel specifically for also with the channel for my cards. I already have the names for both channels. God revealed the names. So, I will be keeping Blue Flame though. Don't worry about that. It's just, it's going to look different. So, plus I have my Narc channel. I haven't done anything on Narcissist in the longest time because they're so fucking irrelevant at this point. I mean, they're still out here. They're still here. They pretty much revealed themselves. I've told you back in 2019, most of the readings I did about masks being ripped off. Yeah. I prophesied that a long time ago about the mask thing. Way before anybody else did, I knew about masks. I didn't think it was going to manifest like this, a global, worldwide phenomenon of people wearing masks that don't work. I shit you not. You can ask Archer's Oracle. A lot of things I would do, and then it would happen. And I'm just like, okay. Now I'm like, come on, God. Can't you give me... I was right. I didn't have the full picture, but I didn't expect that. But I knew that was a part. I'm just like, oh my gosh. God's funny. Yes, he is. He's really funny. God jokes. I'm just glad, like I said, that we, many of us were like in this community and we had our awakening and we were kind of like, I'm still here. For some reason, they've never took my channel down, but it's sure as hell shadow banned. And, I'm still here. I've been here since 2018. March of 2018. And it's funny to go back and look at those old videos, which I think that they did take a bunch down because it says I only have like 884 videos. And I know I did well over 1,000. So they might have removed a lot of videos. I don't know. It is what it is. But some of my older videos and stuff like that, I'm so shy when I first started pulling cards. And I didn't start off with like, when I tell you the decks that I started off with, I didn't have books that I read. I saw a few tarot readers and I'm like, wow, that's kind of cool. And it just clicked. The cards that I started off with was the Shadowscapes deck. That was my clarifying deck. That's not an easy deck. And I had the Gilded Tara. Those were the two I started with. People were like, you started? I'm like, yeah. And the thing is, it's funny because I know what the basic meanings of them are, but then I get intuitive meanings every time of what those cards mean for that specific deck. Another deck, it could mean the generalized thing, but then I get an intuitive hit of a different under meaning. And it's different for every single time. So tomorrow, I'm going to let you know. Tomorrow, I have to go and get I got to go do some stuff down at my apartment building the next few days. And I have to take my daughter to a doctor appointment. So maybe tomorrow evening or in the evenings, I can come on and do some moon sign readings because I've been promising you guys this. I'll be putting for the full moon, because we just had a new moon in Virgo. I'll be doing a full moon reading. Oh boy. When's the next full moon in Pisces? Is the full moon in Pisces next time? Are we going to have full moon in Pisces? Oh, it's going to get real interesting. Because anytime I tap into Pisces energy, I have to stay away from that sometimes because I just end up woohoo way over there. But I get downloads galore. No, it would be a full moon in Pisces because we just had a new moon in. We didn't have a full moon in Pisces yet. Our last full moon was in Aquarius. So we'll have a new moon in Libra. And then the next one will be a full moon in Aries. Yes, I'm pretty sure. Let me just double check. We just had a new moon in Virgo. So I think we have a full moon in Pisces coming up. And then we'll have a new moon in Libra and a full moon in Aries because you got to go opposites. Whatever season it is, the full moon will be in the opposite sign, your opposite sign. So I'm pretty sure next full moon will be in Pisces. Let me just double check. Pretty sure. Everybody's just trying to recover from this full moon or this new moon in Virgo right now. New intentions and all that other stuff. By the way, it's so funny because like my piss and vinegar like was really coming out the last few days. Not as much love and light, but just like the stuff that has been going on and the frustrations and the tension, and I could feel the collective tension. And I'm thinking, I'm you know, you're like, why do I want to out these motherfuckers right now? Why do I want to get mad now? Like, I done dealt with this. Like, why am I so mad? And it's a collective thing. Then I come and I see other people getting pissed off. I'm like, it's definitely a collective thing. And it's, yeah, they can all try. Try us. Well, I knew it was a collective thing when I saw Crazy Bull come on and she did her thing. And I'm like, okay, it's not just me. I'm not just the only one feeling this. I want to fucking smash somebody energetically because of what they've been freaking doing behind the scenes that they thought that I didn't know. Yeah, we do have to understand it. It's a collective thing, but this is the last remnants of the shit we have to release. Funny, the nun put out a reading. Shout out to the ghetto nun. She put out a divine feminine reading on Saturday, and it says about your friend cockroaches. It's your friend cockroach. I had a lot of cockroach friends. Yes, I did. Shout out to the nun. She was right on. And that was the same time, like Friday, I was getting more and more agitated by what I knew. Oh, yeah. Like I said, we're a part of this collective loving God over everything. Yeah. I like cockroach. Okay. Pisces full moon 2021. September 20th. That's like right on the cusp of well, I think Libra season starts like what, the 22nd? Yeah, it's on the 20th. Pisces full moon, 20th. So then Then you're clearing things. Yes, Mercury will be there'll be 6 planets in retrograde at that time. Can't even make it up. 6, or is it 7? But then once October hits, you have Pluto come out of retrograde. Well, I think on the 6th. Then you have Saturn come out of retrograde. I think at the same time Mercury does. Or is it Jupiter? Jupiter, they're all like within a 2-week span where Jupiter, Pluto, and Saturn plus Mercury, they'll all come back out. And that's all within that little time span of like 2 or 3 weeks. So shit's going to pop off in Libra season. I'm just going to let you know, October is going to be crazy. Crazy. So I'm going to let y'all know something. Collective. What we're going to do, I would like to, whoever's interested, before we know that these energies are coming out of retrograde, I would like to do a collective where we Skype or we Zoom, a collective Zoom, where we can pray with each other and ask God to help us clear whatever is left. Pisces is the end before the Libra new moon. We need to clear out any old junk. So if you'd like to do this, where we can collectively come together all around the globe, we can Zoom or however we want to do it, and we can clear out any old junk that we're dealing with. I will do a prayer session with you guys. We'll do an anointing session with you guys. It'll be like the upper room with you guys. We're going to ask the Holy Spirit to fall. We're going to ask for a fresh anointing. And we're moving forward in the Libra season like nobody's business. Ain't nothing going to stop us at that point. We're not going to be able to keep God off our lips because we're going to start seeing things turn around in our lives. This is about spiritual self-care and self-love. And when we collectively come together like that, we can do so much more energetically with each other. It will send shock waves into the ethers. And yeah, where one person can put 1,000 demons to flight, 2 put 10,000. Imagine 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, all in unison, praying with each other. This is what the real church is supposed to be doing. And instead, they do this. Every Sunday. Here, they'll do this. Here, we'll throw this in the offering plate. There's your money. Now I'm good for the week. I paid my money. That's what they think it's about. They don't understand sowing and reaping. It's harvest time. So, yeah, let me get my thoughts together. Let me get my shit done here. I'm going to be gridding off my house and making grids. I will eventually show you how all what they look like. And I got to do it obviously before it gets too cold out, because some of them I have to dig in the ground. So, yes, I'm getting off here. I love you guys. I just want to kind of give you a little bit of an update on where we're heading as a community of people, as lovers of God. Yeah, apathy. Like I said, there's got to be, the church has dropped the ball. And that's why God said, Woe to all the churches. If you are not on fire and if you are not in love with who God is and in absolute awe of just Him and being able to connect and have favor and everything good, then I don't know what to tell people anymore. If people don't like the fact that I swear, if people don't like the fact of some of the things that I do, my heart has always been from day one all about the divine creator. I love Jesus, my best friend. I've never, not one time, ever denied my relationship with God or Jesus. He was the master empath. He could read minds. That's how I know we can read minds. He could walk on water. I'm going to be working on all that stuff. And that might be what I think. I just got the thing for the Zoom conference. We're getting new wineskins. We're going to ask God to take all the old wineskins away, and we're going to ask for brand new wineskins. We can't take old energy and old beliefs and shit and expect new anointing. So we got to break that old wineskin. Pisces full moon, it's over. That old way is done. We're going to walk into Libra season, a brand new everything. Okay? I love you guys. I will, like I said, I am not technically doing private readings right now. There's too many scammers out there. Y'all know how to get a hold of me if you want anything. Email me, look me up on Facebook, Skype me. Most of the stuff is in my description box on my other channel or on my other videos, especially with my tarot videos. I don't usually put stuff in the description in these because what's the point? Sometimes I'll go back later and do it. I really honestly need I was telling the peace dealer the other day, I need a Virgo secretary. So I need somebody who's like, I got that, like when I'm focused on it, but my shit has been so scattered because of everything going on, you know, like with my parents and my kid, and now she's back in college, and it's kind of crazy. So yeah, I'll let y'all know. I'll probably come on, obviously I'll be on way after, you know, a couple times before that even happens, and I'll be reminding y'all. Obviously we're not going to do this you know, live on YouTube. Like, nobody needs to know. We're going to do this a private meeting ourselves. Obviously, yeah, the powers that be will probably be looking in and trying to interfere, but fuck them. They can burn in hell, and they know that they're going to. So they can watch what their demise is about to look like. Either way, we got this. We're winning one way or another. We might lose some battles in between, but ultimately, we come on top. God got your back. Be praying. Say the Lord's Prayer every day. You know? Yeah, I remind myself that. Even though I talk to God and I tell him my frustrations all the time. And then God's like, well, put the mirrors back in the windows. You know it's a reflector. You took the mirror out, but I shouldn't have to have that mirror there, God. Well, once I get my house gridded off, I won't probably need to have them there. Because anything that's negative is not going to be able to cross the boundary. Nothing. They'll get zapped like a bug zapper. Yep. That's what this thing's supposed to do. Anything that comes across my property, that's going to, these people will drop. I won't even have to, it won't be like a shot. Nope. It is just going to be angelic wash. So if they got demons, they're in big trouble. I mean, I might have a bunch of people just come into my house just to freaking get free. Who knows? I've been having demons show up all the time in the name of ex-boyfriends. It's great. Either way, I love you guys. You all take care. Bye.